Here we go, guys. One last ride. Last test 31. Let's get this review knocked out. Number 1 and 2, find the vertices, foci, and asymptotes for the hyperbola sketch and graph. So, center 0, 0 still in these. So I'm going to go 4 to the left and 4 to the right on my x-axis because x squared, remember, whatever comes first is your transverse / major axis. I'm going to go up 3, down 3 on the y. Those points are so that I can draw my box, which I'm not doing a very good job of here. Connect the corners, just like this. And because x is first, the hyperbola is going to open left and right, like the x-axis does. That's not a very good trick. The vertices are where it opens. The vertices are both basically the parabolas, which are plus or minus 4 and 0. Slopes of the asymptote, I'll do that next. Remember, slopes of the asymptote, square root of what's under the y over square root of what's under the x. And then the foci, we got to do c squared equals a squared plus b squared. 16 plus 9 is 25. The square root of 25 is plus or minus 5. So my foci, always on the major, plus or minus 5, 0. That's number 1. Number 2, about to do the same thing, except on number 2, got to divide everything by 144 first. So if I divide every term by 144, 36 goes into 144 4 times, imagine that. Y squared, the 4 goes into 144 36 times, which equals 1. Because the x is first, even though it's smaller, it's still the major. So I'm going to go 2 on the left, 2 on the right. I'm going up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down 6. Let's construct a box here. Just like that. All right, boom. Draw my asymptotes through the corners. Because x is first, it's opening like the x-axis does, so it's opening this way and that way. So my vertices are at plus or minus 2, 0. The slopes of the asymptote, the square root of what's under the y, which is 6, or square root of under the x, which is 2, which means it's plus or minus 3. I don't know, I'll put a comma right there, should put equal sign. The foci, a squared plus b squared, so c squared is going to be 40. If you break down the 40, you get plus or minus 2 on 10. Let's go on the major, so I'm going plus or minus 2 on 10 and 0. Number 3, find an equation of the hyperbola that has that foci and those vertices. Now, the center is still 0, 0 because halfway between 0, 8 and 0, negative 8 is 0, 0. So, and because those are on the y-axis, that means y is the transverse or major. So I'm putting y squared over 64 because that's a squared minus x squared over something is 1. Use what they give you. If they gave you the foci, that's the c. So 100 is 64 plus b squared. So they're asking you, what would you add to 64 to get 100? 36. There's that one. Number 4. Now they're moving around on us a little bit. Find the center foci vertices of the ellipse that are telling us it's an ellipse. All right, which it is. You can tell by the equation. So the center, first of all, is the opposite of what's in the parentheses, 3, negative 2. It might help you to draw the picture. 3, negative 2 is here. There's a 16 I'm going to go right 4 to there, and left 4 to there, and then we'll go up 3, which is here, and then down 3, which is here. So the ellipse looks like this. Okay, so my vertices were 4 away from the center. So if I go 4 away from 3, that puts me at 7, and if I go 4 the other way from 3, that puts me at negative 1, which is exactly where these 2 points are, right there that I'm trying to make really big there. Got to find the foci, and that's really, well, also got to find the major and minor. Let's go ahead and do the major. The major axis, because there's a 16, I went 4 to the left and 4 to the right. That's 8. The minor axis, I went up 3 and down 3. That's 6. And lastly, the foci, I got to do c squared equals a squared minus b squared. 16 minus 9 is 7, so it's going to be plus or minus square root of 7. And the foci are on the major axis, so you have to add it to the center of the major axis, which was the 3. So I'm going to do 3 plus or minus square root of 7 and negative 2. Notice the y coordinate did not change that whole problem. The minor axis number, or if you're doing a hyperbola, the conjugate axis will never change all through the problem. Number 5, find all the stuff on this one. You got to do a little bit of work here because it's a parabola. And the reason I know it's a parabola, well, 2 reasons. 1, they told me, and 2, because there's only 1 square. So to get it in the form we want, I got to get my 4p. So right there's my 4p. I'm just going to factor out that 8. Remember, 4p's got to be opposite of the square, which it is. So the vertex here, the vertex is the opposite of what's inside, 3, negative 1. A rough sketch would probably help here a little bit. The vertex is 3, negative 1. Because 4p is with the y, it's going to open up or down. And because it's positive, it's opening up. So it means my focus is going to be p away, but it's going to be up inside there. So 4p is 8, which means p is 2. So if I went up 2 from -1, that would put me at +1. So the focus is at 3, +1. The directrix, of course, will be 2 below there, and 2 below -1 is -3. Because it would cross through the y-axis, I'm putting y equals -3. And there's that one. Number 6, same type deal, except it's a hyperbola. So first of all, that's going to be a 1 right there. My center is the opposite of what's inside your parentheses, 0, -2. This hyperbola rough sketch here. A center 0, -2, which is right there. I'm going to go 1 to the right, 1 to the left. I'm going to go up 3, down 3, because that's what's underneath my 9 there. My box would look like this. Asymptote, asymptote, asymptote. The x squared is first, so it's opening like this. All right, now, that means my vertices were 1 away from my center, which would be at 1, -2, and also -1, -2. There's the vertex, there's the vertex. Foci, again, I'm doing c squared equals a squared plus b squared. 1 plus 9 is 10. I get plus or minus square root of 10, and that goes with your with your transverse axis, which is the 0 right there. So my foci would be at plus or minus square root of 10, also -2. Again, y coordinate's not changing throughout the whole problem because it's the minor conjugate axis. Slope of the asymptotes. Slope, I'm doing this plus or minus square root of what's underneath the y, which is 3, over square root of what's underneath x, which is 1. So my slopes of the asymptotes are plus or minus 3. You could also count your picture right there if you want to. Number 7, complete the square, figure out what it is. That's all you gotta do is tell what it is. So basically completing the square twice here. So let's do this. Let's take the x's together, putting the x's in our parentheses together. Also the y's, but when I put the y's in parentheses, one hint is it's a minus. I already kind of know what it is, but you gotta fix it. Factor out the -4. That's gonna make that a -16 right there, skip space, and equals 0. So let's complete the square. Half of 2 is 1, square root plus 1, that's gonna be 1. Half of 16 is 4, squared, that's plus 16, but this really is crazy. It's really 16 times -4, which is -64. So I'm gonna put a -64 right there. So here I have x minus 1 squared. I got -4 and y minus 4 squared. And over here I have a minus 63, which is kind of crazy. So what I have to do here, I'm gonna divide everything by the -63 because I want that to be a 1 on that side. And when I do that, that changes all the signs on the other side. So I'm going to end up here. I'm going to end up with a y minus 4 squared over, watch this, positive 63/4. Remember we talked about that 4 a lot. Minus, because the x minus 1 got the sign changed because I'm dividing by -63. And over here now it equals 1. And because it has a minus sign right there, and because it equals 1, that is 100% a hyperbola. So your job is to put it in standard form and then tell what shape it is, what kind of conic section it is. That was a good one. Let's keep going here. Number 8, I see 2 logs, your favorite, but they're just subtracted. Okay, so make it 1 log using division, x plus 15, x minus 1 equals 2. And because there's 1 log now, I'm going to do that base to that power equals that. That's all I'm doing. So I got x plus 15 over x minus 1 equals 9. Cross multiply, get 9x minus 9, really that's over 1. So x plus 15, I'm moving that x over there, which gives me 8x. Moving that on over there, which gives me 24. X is 3, is that okay? Yes it is. Boom, got it. Number 9, we're getting good at this now. Come on, let's go. We got this time. The 2, let's distribute the 2 right off the top. So I got 2 times that, I got 4 times this, and I've got 6 times that. Now, those numbers represent the exponents, so it's really log base 5 x plus 1 squared plus, I've got the 1, log base 5 y minus 3 to the 5th, and then log base 5 z to the 6th. Now, anytime there's addition, that means multiplication, remember? So I'm going to make one big log. I've got a multiplication and I have a division. So everything that's multiplied is going to go in my numerator, just like this. And the division part is going to be my denominator, which goes there. All right, let's go to the last one. Number 10, find an equation of the tangent line. Okay, so here we go. To find an equation of the tangent line, you got to find the derivative. So I'm going to do the limit as h approaches 0 of f of a plus h minus f of a over h. However, we know what the A is. The A is 2. It's the x coordinate. So I'm going to say, I'm going to plug in. I'm really doing this. I'm really doing limit as h goes to 0 of f of 2 plus h minus f of 2 over h. So if I plug in 2 plus h, limit as h goes to 0. If I plug in my 2 plus h, I'm getting 2 plus h over 2 plus h minus 1. Just plugged it in right there. If I plug in f of 2, somebody's already done that for me, and they got 2. That's right there. And that's all over h. And you know what we're about to do? We're about to multiply by the LCD, which is 2 plus h minus 1. Matter of fact, let's make that simpler. 2 plus h minus 1, you can go ahead and do, if you want to, you can do the 2 minus 1. Come on now. 2 minus 1 is 1. So I'm really multiplying by h plus, I'm really multiplying by h plus 1. H plus 1. That's what that really is. Okay, I'll just simplify that. So if I do that to the first term, it just cancels and I get 2 plus h. I still have to multiply the 2 times the h plus 1. On the bottom, I have h and h plus 1. Remember, we never have multiplied the bottom out. We just kind of left that written like that. Let's simplify this numerator. Limit as h goes to 0 of 2 plus h minus 2h minus 2 over h and h plus 1. That's really convenient. The 2's are gone, which leaves me in my numerator. It leaves me with negative h over h times h plus 1. Those cancel, which gives me limit as h goes to 0 of negative 1 over h plus 1. Now I can plug in the 0 right there, and I get negative 1. Now that negative 1 is awesome, but that's just the slope of the line. Okay, so I'm going to use, there's my point up there. There's my slope. I'm going to change colors. So I'm going to point slope form, y minus 2 times negative 1, x minus 2. Just 2 steps here. Distribute that negative 1 and move that 2 over, and boom, and there you have it. All right, no big deal. I hope. I'm going to leave that there. Last one, number 11. Suppose you want to invest $10,000 in an account paying 8% compounded quarterly. How long will it take for it to double? Well, if you double 10,000, you get 20. Started with 10. 1 plus 0.08. Now divided by 4 here. That's quarterly to the nt power. So I'm going 4 times t. We're looking for t. Start off dividing by 10,000. You're going to get 2. Some of y'all are going to start there because you know. And here I'm going to work out what's in the parentheses. Get 1.005, I believe, to the 4t power. I actually just punched that in the calculator, and that's not 1.005. It's 1.02, which is actually better. So let's do the natural log both sides, or you can do regular log both sides. It doesn't matter to me. So I got that right there. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to do this first. I'm going to do natural log 2 divided by natural log of 1.02, and then divide that answer by 4 to see what I get. And I'm getting like 8.75, so I'm going to go 8.8 years. Hope that's right. I don't have my graphing calculator at home, so I'm using my phone. I hope that did good. I think it's 8.8. All right. Hope that helps. Hope these review videos have helped you all year. Y'all have had a great year test-wise. Let's go one more. Let's finish strong. And I'll see you tomorrow when you come in to make that great score. See ya.